Good morning, guys, and happy Wednesday. On homework tonight, we're going to start off with changing some fractions into decimals and seeing what they would look like as decimals. Now, I want to start off by talking about the ones that look most obvious to begin with, and those are going to be the ones that have that 10, 100, 1,000 in the denominator. Remember, that's because our decimal place values are tens, hundreds, and thousands. Now, I want to remind you not to forget about the whole number. So, for example, if I was writing 2 and 17,000, I would write 2 and 17 thousandths. Now, the rest of these don't have a 10, 100, or 1,000 in the denominator, so we have to figure out what to do accordingly. Now, to start off, if we have a 5 as we do up here in the denominator, we can multiply to change that into a 10, 100, or 1,000. A 5 can easily be made into a 10 by multiplying by 2, which is going to give me 6/10, which would give me 7 and 6/10. When, remember, I have an 8 in the denominator, I can easily change eighths into thousands by multiplying by 125. Now, I'll point out that a couple of these fractions that have eighths in them represent other fractions. For example, here I see 4/8, but remember 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. So think about what that means then. And then I also want you to think about what is 2/8 the same as. Now, the rest of these, remember, we may have to divide to figure out what decimal it is. For example, I see 2 and 2/3 here. We're going to have to divide 2 divided by 3, and this is going to give me the decimal that is equivalent to 2/3. Remember, we might have a repeating decimal there, and we got to think about what to do with that. Now, you're probably going to have to do the same thing here. Last one that I want to talk about is on 9/12. We know it's more than half, but think about, is that closer to half or is that closer to a whole? Think about what 9/12 is going to end up being, and think about then how we may go about changing that into a decimal. Remember, you can always divide any of these if you want. If that's your preferred method to find a fraction into a decimal, you can always divide any of these. So keep that open as an option as well. So as you're going through here, you're changing that fraction into a decimal, but don't forget each time, I want to point out again, don't forget about your whole number, because it's important that that whole number appears in your answer here because it's a part of that number. All right, move on to this second part. It says, evaluate the following expression by simplifying. So remember, when we're simplifying, we're using the order of operations. Just a quick reminder, we always start with the parentheses. Then we go to multiplication and division. Those happen at the same time. If we have both, we work from the left to the right. And then we do addition and subtraction. Again, those happen at the same time. We work from left to right. Now, when I see this, I start off, I look in the parentheses. I have addition and multiplication. Multiplication comes first. I'm going to circle it. 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going to keep those parentheses right now because I still have things to do inside of those parentheses. Now at this point, I still have parentheses. We're still there. I'm going to circle 4 plus 9, which is 13. Now at this point, I can drop the parentheses because I've finished everything inside of the parentheses. Now you're going to notice we have this random 3 here that was next to the parentheses. Remember, if we have a number that's right next to a set of parentheses and there's no sign, we're saying that's multiplication. Now from this point, I'm going to let you finish the rest of that on your own. Remember, we're still following this order of operations here, which is going to help you get through that. Anytime you see this word simplifying with an expression, it means there's no equal sign. You're trying to make this more simple and tell me, what is this going to be equal to? What is this giant thing going to be the same as? And that's basically what simplifying means. All right, let's move on to our last part here. It says, just last night, Kimberly and her friend Kimberly, her other friend Arbsima, and some girl they found named Chair went to eat at their favorite restaurant. Food. At this restaurant, you just order food and get whatever the server brings you. They ordered 12 orders of food. So 12 orders for $6.58 each. That's important. Each. And they ordered a drink. It seems expensive. For $33. So the question says, if they split the bill, how much will each have to pay? Each pay. Now, what we know here is we know that they ordered 12 orders of this food for $6.58 each. And then they also ordered that one large drink for $33. Now, when I see this, if they split the bill, I'm already thinking, well, how many ways are they going to split it? If I look up here, how many people are going to split that bill, I'm going to say there are 4 girls, which is going to be helpful here to know how much are they splitting this up between. Now, as you are going to find your answer here, we first need to figure out, and you're thinking if you're at a restaurant, we have to figure out how much money did they spend before we can figure out what needs to be split up. So I know they ordered 12 orders of this food for $6.50. Erase that. $6.58. And we're going to multiply that by 12 because there's 12 of those. Now, we also know that they had $33 in drinks. So I'm just going to add whatever this answer is with $33. And remember, that's 33 whole dollars. So you can add a decimal and 2 zeros there if you need. And then remember, they're splitting this. So they're splitting that bill among 4 girls. So then we know from that point, we're splitting it up into 4 pieces. Think about what that means. Think about what that means when you're splitting that up. And I think you guys can do that. Really good job, guys. Keep up the good work, and I'll see you later in class.